Hi, in this video we're going to show you how to create a new RO or an invoice. It simply starts with clicking on the red button up here in the left hand corner. Once you've clicked on that, it's going to take you to a screen where you click on this red button that says click here to start a new RO number. What you will notice is this RO number here, the 7273 for me, when I click on it will now move up to 7274. You're always going to have a walk-in customer. Once the RO is clocked up, you need to select who the initial contact was with the customer. A lot of times it's the same as the manager, so I'm going to select the manager's name as well. It'll input the date in and the contact date. Once you've done that, you just simply hit next. You'll have a field that will pop up. It will autofill the information in on the invoice if this was a previous customer that's been in your shop before by simply typing in the old RO number relating back to a repair that you did maybe a few weeks or a few months ago. If you put that information in and hit OK, it will populate the information up here behind this with the customer's name, their address, their phone numbers, the car information, tag number, VIN, things like that. The only thing you would want to do at that point is just update if the phone numbers have changed and, of course, what brought them in there today, like the current remarks and the current mileage. But since this is a new customer, I'm just simply going to hit OK. And I'm going to type in the customer's name. This field here is for if this is a fleet account, like maybe it's a FedEx vehicle, you would put their name in there to signify that it's actually a business account as well. Then it's asking you for the zip code. Once you type in the zip code, it will automatically populate the city and state for you. I'm going to put in my zip code, 37604. And I simply hit the tab key and it simply puts in my city and state. Then you need to put in the address, and then you need to go ahead and put in the cell phone number. Now with cell phone numbers, I know it's a hard habit to break, but you just want to type in the cell phone numbers without any digits in it in case later on you want to send a text message. So for me, I'm going to put in my cell phone number. As you can see, I've got no digits or dots in there. And then once I've done that, I can go ahead and come over here to home phone numbers or work phone numbers and put in it as we are used to seeing it, which would be a work phone number or home phone number. I'll put in a digit. And then if it's a work, you can put in a work number with an extension number right beside it. You've got a place to put in an email address, but the program also will ask you for the customer's email address when you're closing out the invoice. I think it's a better time to ask the customer their email address at that time. You're more likely to get it from them versus now when you're first checking out the vehicle. Here's a place for the driver's name. If this is a company vehicle up here, which would be different from maybe the person that's paying for it, you can actually put in a driver's name here in case you're needing to call that driver, let him know that his vehicle is ready to be picked up. Here would be a place you would do for the tax exempt. If it's a tax exempt, you would put that number in there and then put in there that it's exempt or taxable. And then let's select the customer's car information. A style could be four-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, whatever it is. In this case, we're going to say it's all-wheel drive. The color would be, gold. And then the transmission type. And if you know what the engine size is, you'd put that in. And then, of course, the current mileage. And then the license plate number. And then the VIN. Hat tag in case you're tracking customers' keys by hanging up the tag number on the mirror. You'd put in that tag number. Production dates from the door. If you're needing to have that information, you can put that right there. And then what brought the customer in today, what's their remarks. And whether or not it's towed in or not, if it's towed in, you put in what the tow is, you select that it is towed in so that your technicians know. It will actually print that on the performance check so they're not going out and driving a car that possibly may break down on them. And then you would put in what your tow cost is. What this will do is when you get ready to close out the invoice, it will remind you that there is a tow attached to this invoice so that you do not forget to charge for a tow. Sometimes we get busy and we forget that we have a car that got towed in and we forget to charge for the tow. By inputting that information into this field, when you close out the invoice, your program will remind you that there is a tow attached to this invoice. And then lastly, before we hit the next button right here, we'll put in the lead source. How did this customer come in to your business, whether it was outside sales, a previous customer, maybe they heard a radio spot, it was a referral, who was referred by, whether it was a friend or family, maybe let's say it was a family member and it came from John Smith. It's a buddy of yours that sends some work to you. And then once you've done that, you can simply hit next. At this point, you need to make a decision on whether or not what type of performance check you're getting ready to do. If it's a drivability, general automotive type drivability, or a transmission, you will likely pick this one. If it's an oil change, you'll be doing a courtesy check, so you'll likely pick this one. This is cool because when you do this one here, it will tell you what the oil change sticker mileage should be for synthetics and regular oil, so you don't have to. Your technicians don't have to do the math. It automatically tells them what it is. Whether they're in there for maybe an AC check or a cooling overheating issue or just a simple brake check, each one of these performance checks relates to that type of drivability problem and helps with aid in diagnosing. Since this is a performance check of a transmission type, we're going to simply hit the performance check sheet. And then we'll click on this and print out the performance check as you see right here with the customer's information all related here, showing the tow and how much the tow was. Once you've done with that and it's actually printed the performance check, you simply hit the main menu and it takes you now to the customer's invoice, and you have this customer on your main customer contact page.